I've asked Council Member Rob Robel to lead us in prayer.
Let's pray, please. As we gather here today, we pause to give thanks for the many blessings we have received. We are grateful for the community we serve, the opportunity to come together in pursuit of common good. We ask for your heavenly guidance as we make decisions that impact our city and its resident. Help us to always lead with wisdom, compassion, and integrity. As we approach the season of gratitude, inspire us to remember those who are less fortunate and to always seek ways to uplift and support them. May our actions reflect our commitment to serve all the citizens with love and respect. Thank you for the gift of this gathering and for the strength that lies within the unity of this council and our community. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. All right, I call this regular city council meeting, City of Bryant, November 18th, 2025. To order. Roll call, please.
Burgess.
Present.
Higginbotham.
Here.
Martin. Absent. Meyer.
Here.
Mosley.
Here.
O'Rourke.
Here.
Herminer.
Here.
Odell.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion, make a motion we add an item to the agenda this evening.
Okay. Do I have a second? Or-
Second. Please.
Okay.
Thank
Do I
you.
have a second?
Someone to sleep.
Shut up.
What item? Are we?
Colton Leonard will present the item.
Okay. So what number where should we put that, Mr.?
I believe it would go under new business, Mayor,
All right, new business.
and you can put it after the bank deal so the bankers can leave. You're welcome.
All right, so, okay,
Number 9.
so it'd be 9, it would become the new 9.
Number 9.
All right. So we have a motion and, did we vote yet on that? No, we have, okay, we got a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we've got a new item number 9. Thank you. All right, back to 1, we've got approval of minutes, September 30th, regular meeting minutes.
Motion to accept.
Second.
A motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, now our October 28th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion to accept.
Got a motion,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, presentations and announcements. Kathy Llewellyn, you want to come on up? Bryant Historical Society, thank you for the reception and for the sandwiches, cookies.
Welcome. I'm glad y'all came. For those of you that don't know, I'm Kathy Llewellyn. I'm with Bryant Historical Society and Museum. And in April of this year, we had our 1-year anniversary of the opening of the museum. And the attendance for last year, for 2024, was approximately 275 people, because a lot of people don't sign in, so, and which is fine. This year, as of tonight, we've had 320 visitors to the museum. We've had plus, this is, a lot of us forget to write our hours down that we work. So the hours that we've written down are 709 hours, and that's between 5 and 7 volunteers for the year. Donations, a lot of people have brought us donations. They don't want to fill out a form. They don't want what they're bringing. It's like, we want to get rid of it, so they've given it to us. But we've had 14 people that have actually filled out donation forms, and we've probably got, I'm thinking, between 75 and 100 objects that have been donated to us this year. So we're excited about that. We've had groups this year. Indian Springs Baptist Church adult group came. Bryant Methodist Church adult group came. Maxine Wine brought her senior adult group from Sardis Methodist Church. And then we had the British Car Club of Central Arkansas come.
You know what?
And I wish y'all could have seen it because they all came in a caravan in their little British cars. And some of them were convertibles, and they pulled in that parking lot, and it was like precision, them backing into those spaces. It was fun. They thoroughly enjoyed it. They loved being there. One thing about those groups, they didn't just come to see us. Indian Springs, when they got through, they took us and their group to Jordan's Barbecue for lunch. Bryant Methodist Church had been somewhere in the city to eat. Maxine and them went to Whole Hog to eat. British Car Club actually rented a room at Bishop Park and had Jordan cater their lunch. So it's not just us they're coming to see, but they're utilizing other areas in Bryant, other businesses. So we're excited about that. We had 2 reunions this year at the museum. I'm going to tell how old I am. I had my 60th class reunion in May.
No.
And we had 35 people that were there.
Wow.
And we had so much fun, and it was just fun for them to see our exhibit. Y'all have seen what we've got up there, so it was fun for us to we ate and talked, and everybody looked at pictures and old annuals, and we just had fun. And then Bruce Schrader, who is the Schrader, Hill, Helmich, Elrod, all that group that are all related, they had a century reunion. It's 100 years that they have been in this area.
Wow.
And so they came to the museum, and there was probably about, well, it was hot. It was one of those days, it was like 105, and it was probably 110. They came to the museum, then they were going to go over to Hill Barn and have a picnic on the grounds. Well, they ended up staying at the museum because it was too hot. And there was probably about 90, well, how would y'all say, about 90 people in there. So they were on the floor with blankets and lawn chairs. We had the best time. They had a really good time. And for weeks after they were there, they kept commenting on how well they enjoyed it and so we're excited about that too. Committees. We've had Museum Day Committee has met there twice. Community Engagement has met there. Parks and Recreation has met there. Saline County Court is working on a county flag, and Warren and I are on that committee. And so they've met there. In fact, we're going to have another meeting there Friday afternoon. So we're being able to utilize our building that we have. Events. We had Museum Day. We had 48 people show up on Museum Day. And then last Saturday, when you had the Blessed Bryant, we opened the museum that afternoon, and we had 16 visitors that came to the museum. So we were excited about that too. Programs, we had 3 programs this year. Bud Findley did a program on the Findley-Meyer family and what they've contributed to this area. And then Warren did a couple of programs on the 10 museums that are in Saline County. And then I did one on the spirits and legends of Bryant and Jesse James in October. So if you have any ghost stories, somebody just told me one last week that I hadn't heard. So if you have any ghost stories about Bryant or anything about Jesse James, let me know.
Okay.
We had a visitor from the DAR that came and talked to us. The funniest one is I was in there working, the yard people were out there mowing, weed eating. And I looked up and this guy's doing this into the window. So I opened the door. They came inside. They were like, "What is this building?" And I said, "It's a museum." So they all came in. They were looking, and they were all talking at the same time and asking all these questions at the same time. And somebody went, "Hey, we've got yards to mow. Y'all get out here." So they left. So they said they were going to come back. Now, whether they did or not, I don't know. We have had visitors not just from Arkansas. We've had visitors from Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, Missouri, Colorado, California, Idaho, Florida, and Queens, New York. There was a couple in there just last week, from Queens, New York, that came in and visited us.
Very cool.
So we've had a great year, except for a little glitch. when we had the wind damage. We had shingles blowing off the roof, and we were picking it up off of the parking lot, and we had water damage running down the walls. It was flooded in there. It did not ruin any of our exhibits, so that was great. So Keith was real good helping us get the roof repaired, so that's been good too. Going into this year, we are talking about getting a small storage building for storage out there. We need storage. Karen Keating, our new person, she's going to help with the website, and then we're going to start doing binders for decades with the school, politicians, a lot of different stuff like that. So when people come in, they'll be able to see what we have. And we just want to say we are so thankful to all of y'all for supporting us and helping us and letting us do what we do.
Oh, thank you.
So thank y'all very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Public comments. All right. Seeing none, we'll move to old business. We've got the third reading of the ordinance restricting right-of-way canvassers and solicitors. I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read.
So moved, sir.
Okay.
Second.
Motion second, suspend the rules, third reading by title only. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and we'll read this title. An ordinance restricting right-of-way canvassers and solicitors to certain Bryant streets and roadways located within the city of Bryant, because canvassers and solicitors pose a danger to themselves and to the public at large by intervening with the safe and normal flow of traffic and for other purposes. I have a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote, please.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Martin is absent. Mosley,
Yes.
passed.
Motion passes. Now, I do have a motion here for an emergency clause. We need that.
I had spoken with Chief before this was even presented to council, and he asked that it not have an emergency clause. That way they can start informing these people that the law is coming before they actually start writing any type of citations. Chief, I just want to make sure that hadn't changed. That's correct. So
Okay.
I would request no emergency clause on this.
Good with that? Okay. Finance, new business. We got a finance report. Joy Black.
Okay.
So this is for the month ending of October 31st, and really the only notable thing in it is the last 2 pages. I added the information about paying off the back truck for wastewater early. We'll just save a little bit on savings. You know, we've talked about that for the last 2 quarters, and so it's in the works. So did anybody have any questions on the October 31st ending report?
No questions?
Motion to adopt.
A motion to adopt, second?
Second.
You have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Now we've got budget adjustments.
So there was an error on my part that the number that got uploaded to the agenda last time for the TASER was $66,000 short. The correct number went to you guys. It was the first number that was sent out, but the night of the agenda, the number was incorrect. So that 66 is a correction to the TASER one. And then, did anybody have any questions? I know we'd previously been planning on buying a new storage shed because that one out back has a lot of issues, but now we've had to take that money back and we're going to have to do a vacant home cleanup with it. So there's some other ins and outs. Property insurance came in higher, and probably will have to be adjusted for 2026, but I'm going to take a real close look at it first, see if there's anything we can do about that. And then the chlorination system for the water. Did anybody have any questions on any of those items?
Where was that chlorination system used at?
I believe it's the one that's on the, where CAW water comes into Bryant.
Okay, so it's in the water system, not the pools or anything? Okay.
Isn't that right, Ted?
What's
The
that?
chlorination system is the one where CAW water comes into Bryant out there by the,
Yes, it is. It's at our booster station. What it is we receive chlorinated water from CAW, but from time to time, if the chlorine levels dip, we have to add additional chlorine to make sure that our water is safe.
Question. I think,
To adopt.
motion to adopt, have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? So we've added the budget adjustment sheets. Hope you appreciate the staff's extra work on those. Just wanted to make sure you guys are seeing those and those are communicating what we're attempting to communicate. If you've got any questions or if you'd like us to add any more information, just let
I
us know.
think it makes this whole process go smoother.
And I've asked the staff to really be detailed in those, on that information. They've done a great job. All right, we've got the budget book draft.
so as you guys know, per ACA 14-58-201, we need to present it to you guys by December 1st. We won't be bringing it back for you to actually adopt it until the December council meeting, but I think this is a really good draft, and I sent out a pretty extensive email to you guys just pointing out certain highlights and things. Did anybody have any questions about the document?
If there are, let us know before we bring it back in December for adoption. All right, now we've got Resolution 2025-46,
And on
banking
this,
contract.
yeah, I would just like to say that this was a really long process, took over 3 months, and there was a 5-person committee. We had 8 great proposals, which was excellent. We narrowed it down to 5 presentations, had a lot of really good information throughout the whole process, and it was a difficult decision. But the committee ultimately decided on Arbus Bank, and so we brought Arbus Bank back tonight to talk to you guys.
Thank you, Mayor Treat and council members. Appreciate the opportunity to address y'all this evening. We do not take this relationship lightly. The city is of vital importance to our community and to us as a community partner. So we appreciate the opportunity to come before you and have the opportunity to possibly work with you if your vote chooses to do so. We believe that Arbus is uniquely positioned to be able to help the city. We are a large enough bank that we can offer the products and services that a bank or a community, a city your size would need to be able to operate. Additionally, we have other departments that you can benefit from, such as wealth management, card services. All that is under the umbrella of Arbus Bank. Other than that, if you've got any particular detail that you wish to ask concerning the proposal, we do have David Allen back again. He presented at the previous board meeting, but he would be glad to answer any questions concerning that.
I did have a question earlier regarding the $100 that's been in the packet to give employees if they open an account with Arbus Bank. That is an incentive. It's not a gift. It does not violate any kind of state law or anything. So we are good with that incentive that Arbus is offering us.
Any questions about the contract?
Well, I asked Joy a question in the hallway, but she couldn't, she was Too hard to answer. I was asking.
Yeah,
I mean, not involved in commercial banking. I see the fees and my eyes popped out. And I'm thinking, how much is this going to cost us a month to operate like this?
Yeah, and I told her that, I mean, you can't get that, really nail it down because it's based off of a big series of what we do every month. There are the different prices, and it varies, and it's varied when we were with Regions too. But that earnings credit thing is an offset to those fees, and so that's to help somewhat insulate that. You know, my hope would be that we make money, obviously, that it doesn't end up costing us anything. But you know, it depends a lot also on the market, you know, because everything's tied to that. So it depends on how this next year goes. So, like, there's a lot of factors in there. If anybody wants to discuss it further, I'm open.
Well, I would like to add to that.
Yep.
I mean, the rates that I presented last time, so we presented 2.75% interest rate, and then the earnings credit rate that Joy referenced, we've got that locked in at 50 basis points, 50%. Those rates are fixed. They're not indexed to anything. Those are fixed rates for the term of the contract. So I also read some different figures based on the balance that Joy provided at the last meeting. So on that balance of 20 million, we were looking at total interest in excess, you know, just a little over 45,000. The earnings credit, that's going to cover $8,200 per month based on that balance. And based on my previous experience with the city, your balances do not typically dip below that threshold. So $8,200 is definitely going to more than cover your fees. And that's a little richer than I think what you're getting currently. So.
Mr. Partain, if you don't mind, would you kind of hit the bullet points again, like you and I had discussed earlier tonight about some of the things that separated your bid from the others where security and such for the cities provided?
No, absolutely, and I appreciate that, Butch. You know, primarily, again, I think we've put together a packet that, one, addresses what the city's looking for in a banking partner. You've been with a large bank for a number of years that did not provide the service level that you guys were looking for. I think we've got a local leadership team, additional partners that are a part of this organization that are readily available to answer any questions, work with you on anything that you may need to be able to kind of move that forward. From the banking side, I think we've got a proposal, as David kind of mentioned, based on what we're currently looking at in a rate environment. These are fixed rates. So ultimately, you're not going to see any variance in what we're providing. Unless there's some massive changes in the method that the city's paying out bills, if that goes drastically up for some reason, which we couldn't foresee that ever happening in this duration. We fully anticipate that should be able to take care of any fee structure that we may have embedded in that disclosure. We have to disclose those fees because those are fees that we charge. But ultimately, the rates that we're paying you cover those. In addition to that, we're also paying you on top of that. We also offer rebates on our purchasing card. The purchasing card is going to be one of the products that we're introducing that should hopefully cure some of the security issues that you guys have been dealing with, some of the accounting issues that you've been dealing with, but also it's going to pay a 1% rebate. So when you start to kind of put pen to paper where we can make money for the city, this is going to come in multiple facets. Rebate, earnings credit, additional interest on the checking accounts. But we also have a wealth management group that's here locally. And, you know, then you can start to look at investments, treasuries that have its own set of interest earning capability. So again, when you're looking at a banking partner, I think would be important to a city is can we address the needs of the city from a banking perspective, but also provide some insight on what we might be able to do from a technological perspective, where we can create efficiencies in what you are needing as a city as you grow, but also other ways that we can make you money and be a good partner mostly. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We can go further into wealth management.
Well, and we've been talking, if you approve this, we're gonna have regular updates. That they'll be coming, kind of helping us see how the money's being put to work, and that we're doing really well as a city, and communicating that to our residents.
Absolutely.
So you'll see them on a regular basis at council meetings.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor,
Yeah, motion passes.
I need to go on record and recuse myself. My employer's affiliation with the bank
Okay.
will not allow me to vote, so I need to make sure that's on record.
All right. Motion still passes though, so, all right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
All right, now we are to the new item, number 9.
Hey, Colton,
Colton,
your guest presenter this evening.
yes, presenter, interim director.
Okay.
That one? His presence?
Presents, yeah.
All right.
Bunch of presents for you
That
guys.
was posted today.
Posted today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
One short.
Good evening, council. What I passed out before you guys is a draft ordinance for some zoning code changes for the sections 4 and 10 of our zoning code, which have to do with, or the changes being made have to do with vegetable gardens, accessory dwelling units, and solar arrays. So the solar arrays is what you guys talked about a little while back as far as wanting to see an ordinance regarding solar fields. So that's what that section is about. The other two sections are changes that we have to make according to state law. When they went into legislative session this past summer, a couple of things that were changed were laws on accessory dwelling units and then also vegetable gardens. Really, the vegetable garden portion is just, I want to make it abundantly clear that we allow vegetable gardens in any residential zoning. So that's what I added in there, just so that everybody knew that was there. But then the changes you see there listed in the ordinance under accessory dwelling units are everything that's striked and then replaced has to do directly with that act, which was Act 313. This went before our Development Review Committee earlier this month, where it was recommended to Planning Commission. Planning Commission also reviewed it, recommended it to you guys. It was just too late to get on the agenda for this month, so that's why we were waiting to go ahead and place it on December's. But Councilmember Rodell asked for it to go ahead and meet tonight, which it is ready, so wanted to go ahead and bring it to you guys as well. And this, by the way, also had a public hearing at the Planning Commission where we advertised this zoning code changes as well.
Can we discuss the ordinance just a little bit,
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Sure.
On section 4, sorry, I'm back here. Let me get my stuff down. Section 1014,
Page 7.
page 7, but it's specifically number C4.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and go to page 9. I'd like to change that 6-foot high minimum to a 10-foot high minimum, because you've got the maximum ceiling, ground to top of the ugly things at 12 feet. So that ensures that only 2 feet sticking out the top at full tilt, and they'll never be at full tilt. That way it provides a barrier for all the residents around there. They don't have to look at the things.
Okay, that's no problem. We certainly.
5A on page 9, is that?
Or
That was 4B.
4B.
On
Page 9.
Okay.
Oh, I see, sorry, I was looking at a different 6 foot.
Yeah, because the way it is, you're going to have 12 feet and a 6-foot fence.
Understood.
Good call.
Thank you.
Colton, does this change the way in which we calculate the maximum size of accessory dwellings?
So it does. So the size that we used to have, so an accessory dwelling unit used to, in our current code, I should say, must be less than 40% of the size of the principal structure or 1,000 square feet in gross floor area, whichever is less. And then it has to be at least 300 square foot in gross floor area. According to the state law, all I did was change the wording they had for it. So a unit shall not be more than 75% of the gross floor area of the single-family dwelling or 1,000 square feet, whichever is less. So it did, in some ways, pushed it up for the percentage, but the maximum, I guess, would have stayed the same.
Yeah, so this would address an issue I can't say where, but one part of Bryant, there's a gigantic storage building that actually blocks the view from the street from the neighbors. That was legal, but with this passing, it'd have to be grandfathered in, but it wouldn't be able to be done again.
If it was an accessory dwelling?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or accessory dwelling unit, sorry. With a regular accessory building, it'd still be, I guess our laws aren't changing with that, our rules. So it'd still meet the 25% of the square footage of the home.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So given the changes in state law, do we still have the opportunity to have exemptions as we did over the last 10 years in the planning?
There's nothing in the law that gives any leeway on that, or I guess special exemptions against it, or these section of the code, or this section of the code, I should say. So I didn't see anything in there, so I didn't have anything added. I don't believe there is a way to do that. Because we have to just meet the codes.
Okay, so there's not going to be exemptions in
As
the
far as
future.
for accessory dwelling units.
Okay. I might quote you on that.
We're just going off what they passed in the Capitol, so.
There you go. So are you wanting to pass this tonight or not? Or
We could just do first reading.
Yeah, I make a motion, we suspend the rules and read by title only in first reading.
Second.
All
It's been
right,
through planning commission, right?
Yes, it is.
all right, so
Who was the second?
so I got a motion, a second, suspend the rules and read the first reading, title only. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. An ordinance amending, what was this, ordinance number 2025 dash?
Yeah, I think that's going to be 17.
17. An ordinance amending the comprehensive zoning ordinance of the city of Bryant to the Bryant zoning code. All right, thank you.
Welcome. And if you guys have any questions on that, any of the stuff that's changed, just reach out to me and let me know. I'm happy to discuss it further with you guys.
This is the first reading.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks.
all right, just making sure.
Yep.
I mean, I assume that everybody wanted to wait.
Yeah, I'd like to read it.
Okay,
Okay,
Thank you,
I've
Colton.
read it a few times.
appreciate it. All right, Tricia.
So this is the same ordinance that I brought to you last month. If you all would like to do the second and third reading and consider adoption tonight, that's fine. If you would prefer to wait until next month to do the third reading and consider adoption, that's fine too. We're not in a hurry on this either way. It's completely up to you.
I would make a motion for a second reading, just so we let it all play out naturally.
Second.
All right, is that also title only?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sorry, I forgot that
No
part.
worries. Sorry, let me catch up here. All right, I've got a motion and a second for the second reading of this ordinance by title only. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, second reading, ordinance 2025-14, an ordinance repealing 2015-45, setting the fee schedule for the Department of Animal Control in the city of Bryant.
Mr. Mayor, I think you misspoke on that ordinance number,
Did I?
just for the record,
Thank you.
to reflect correctly.
What is the 2025-15?
-15.
15. They got
15.
45 written in the deal, but it's
Sorry.
15.
I need to read that again with the right number. No, we good?
Clerical mistake, you're fine.
All right. Thank you. Good catch.
Does anybody have any questions about the ordinance?
Yeah, any questions?
Thank you, council.
Thank you. All right, now we've got first reading on our
Yes,
water sewer.
I think Mariah can answer major questions, but this is back on for a first reading based on some substantive changes that were made, which made us have a new first reading on this.
So we had another workshop, was that last week?
A couple weeks ago.
They all run
I think
together.
it was 2
They're
weeks.
all running together.
I think it was 2 weeks.
And any other questions about the adjustments we made after the last workshop? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read the first reading of this ordinance title only.
So moved.
All right, got a motion,
Second.
and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now this is 2511, right? All right, ordinance 2025-11, an ordinance fixing rates for services rendered by the water facilities of the water and sewer system of the city of Bryant, Arkansas, and prescribing other matters thereto. And now we're to 2025-12. Again, some similar changes, but we're back to first reading. Any questions about the changes? All right, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read this first reading.
Pardon me. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion?
Just second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ordinance 2025-12, this is the first reading, an ordinance fixing rates for services rendered by the sewer facilities of the water and sewer system of the city of Bryant, Arkansas, and prescribing other matters thereto. Thank you.
Yep.
So next month, we'll have a,
So I have one, let me say, I'm not opposed to hiring new people. I think you should have a reason to hire people and not just, I mean, there should be a justification. It should have a job description and stuff that you hire against. And one of the things that in the discussion I'm hearing that maybe we need to talk about in the big picture is lowering our out of sewer rate. We currently are double. I don't know if there's another city in the state of Arkansas that's double. Customarily, it's 1.5. I had a gentleman reach out, his water bill is $100, his sewer bill is $400. That's hard to sustain.
you're talking about the out-of-city limits sewer
Sewer,
rate. Yes, that,
And I understand the need that it should be, and you know, when we passed this, that must be over a year that we passed this. I assumed that it would spear or spur on annexation within the city, some of these entities that wanted to be part of, but not one. So, I don't know if maybe I had expectations that weren't there, that weren't real, but,
They're real. They're real.
but,
They're getting services for free.
they are, and I understand that it needs to be different, I understand that, but I think maybe we are a little above. I think there's discussion.
I agree. Okay, we'll pull together a meeting and some numbers, the impact, and get back to you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yes, sir.
How many customers is that?
So we have, so we have 8,800 water customers. Of course, a lot of those are still on Salem water system. We have over 10,000 customers that are, so the balance of those are kind of what's outside. So I think in the nature, we're looking around, really around 800 or so customers or so that are outside city limits.
Yeah, a little bit less than that.
Like 740 something.
Yeah, I can get you guys exact, I've got exact numbers somewhere, but yeah, around.
And the reason that we have not been able to annex them is they're so far out that they're not in a contiguous part of the incorporated city limits. So it will take time to get to those locations, multiple years potentially.
But even, are there some that are outside the city that are contiguous to us that could be annexed if they wanted to?
If there are still distances in between the contiguous. Now,
Wow.
a matter of, half mile, quarter mile, but there's still properties in between that are not served by sewer that aren't within the city limits, so that we couldn't bring those in on pre-annexation agreements. Those would have to come in by vote. And so we are looking at those areas to try to get some of those to come into the city and pick up those bigger customers that are out there that aren't paying twice as much, that are closer. But there are still quite a few of those out.
So of those 800 customers, all of them are non-contiguous, like,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah. I mean, there are some that are even beyond where the former ETJ was, almost 3 miles outside the city.
So that should probably be part of the long-term discussion on the matter
Yes, sir. I think you're right.
with the annexation plan. I mean, because that's, we're going to need to do that pretty soon with the growth in those areas. Because number one, it's going to put some strain on some city services, but it could also be a benefit of those citizens too.
Couldn't agree more. And I think that'll be some of what we discuss in the comprehensive growth plan and strategy to.
So you're thinking 2 years down the road before we change anything? Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
think, so I mean, obviously, as council, you can deal with that ordinance and change it now as far as the double, but we'd have to look at how that impacts us. But I think we're talking about, there are options that if a developer is going to develop a large piece of property and they want to tie on the city sewer, that what we would do now is say, we need you to annex first. And it gets us close enough, because a lot of those that we're talking about have pre-annexation agreements. We just got to get to them. So I think we're having conversations and trying to have these conversations with developers on the very front end to, if we can annex some of that property before it's developed. But that's still years away. We're having the discussions and trying to be more strategic with annexation, but I wouldn't see that happening within the next 3 to 5 years.
And to annex it now, we do have to border it fully on all three, at least 3 sides, isn't that correct?
I don't think so. I think as long as we touch it.
What they call shoestring annexation, which is by narrow pathways. So, but obviously, if they're adjoining and they want to be part of the city so they can get the benefit of the lower sewer rates, then they can annex in as long as they're just touching.
Okay.
You can't annex through a roadway. You got to have a certain degree of contiguous property frontage.
And now that there's no ETJ, that's another conversation we're having, is we'd rather those developments come in so we can have quality control. But it would be a willing annexation, that they want to be in the city limits so that they can tie onto our sewer if they're going to develop. And so we're having some of those conversations. But I think the northeast area that's between the city limits, Midland, all the way up to, is it Stonehill? A lot of, that whole neighborhood is on our sewer. It has pre-annexation, but it's out there. That Owen Creek trunk line it's miles outside the city limits. So it's going to take some time for us to creep up there to be able to, and we've had conversations with the county judge. He's had the same conversations. Hey, this stuff should have been annexed into Bryant long ago. So we're working with him on that. But I think the fact that we don't have an ETJ anymore is we're more proactive in working with developers on the front end to try to get them in the city.
So we're gonna do a study on this?
Yes, sir. We'll get you some numbers and some data ASAP, and then we'll have a public discussion. But we'll get you some numbers as soon as we can, so you can start to study it. All right, where are we? Good question.
Number 12.
All right, thank you. Number 12.
This is on the agenda for a discussion of a Joyner versus City of Bryant case that was filed against the city earlier this summer. We have been in negotiations with the plaintiff in this case. We believe those negotiations are at a standstill. In order to proceed with litigation, I would ask, I need the council's permission and would ask that there be a motion to proceed with litigation and to stop negotiations in this case.
To stop it?
Stop negotiations, to
Okay.
proceed with litigation
Gotcha.
and stop negotiations.
I'm not quite following. And that was a recommendation from the municipal league?
Yes,
if I read that
we have
correct.
hired the municipal league to represent us in this case. The negotiations are, we have made an offer, they have countered offered.
Okay.
They're pretty far apart.
Okay.
We do not believe that their counter offer is worth what the case is. So we want to go ahead and start proceeding with litigation on this case. And proceeding with litigation does not necessarily mean it'll go to trial. It means that the plaintiffs are going to have to present more proof of their case and prove in discovery, which is they have to give us everything that they have, we give them everything that we have, and they have to prove their damages in this case. And we do not believe that they have anything that can prove those damages of what they are asking. So,
You mentioned that open cases would be viewed when AML comes around first of the year and starts our insurance rate.
that is correct. We normally have around 2 to 3 open cases each year when it comes around. This would make a third open case when it comes around in 2026. So I do not think that will really affect our premium, our rates.
They look at the monetary value of the other case as well?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and any judgment would be solely the city's responsibility on this case, so that will not be factored into the premium rates of AML.
If anyone else has any discussion, I'd like to make a motion to proceed with litigation.
Got a motion? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Proceed with litigation.
Appreciate it.
I had a question, yes, thanks.
All right, planning and development. Phillips pulled this property up. You can see there, this is the southwest side of Bishop Park there. You see there, that red line is the city of Benton city limits, and those two tracks there, the 10 acres.
They're hard to see, but these are 2 5-acre tracts. They were currently owned by Reynolds Metals, which is now actually Alcoa, that's adjacent to the park. The proposed subdivision is this tract here that was purchased along with these pieces. And so essentially what the developer wants to do is and we have a representative here, but is his development needs another access road for emergency, fire access, evacuation. Since they're close enough to the park, Their proposal is to make a road that connects down into the park, which would also serve the benefit of having an ulterior emergency exit from the park for whatever case may happen. The intention is to have a gate here with basically a lot for the Benton Fire Department as well as a lot for the Bryant Fire Department. And if we need access, we'll have it. If they have access, we'll have it. But the park will also get the benefit of 10 additional acres as part of the agreement that'll be added to the park property.
So you're seeking to do that instead of continuing the Sleepy Hollow entrance
I
into?
can let the representative speak, but it's still currently under design.
Okay.
That, one of their potentials is they don't own this property. They own this, is to get their people out through the park if need be. So the intention would be to have the road go through there, but to ultimately connect back to Sleepy Village.
Sleepy Village, that's Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. That's it.
No, it's-
We're still trying to get back into the park, so yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So that's been a concern of mine since we built that park.
Yes.
There's really like at that front end it had a big accident, everybody's trapped in there.
Well, in part of this process, we actually looked at was making a connection from Sleepy Village down through there, and the city acquired a 50-foot right-of-way to make that from Reynolds Metals, Alcoa.
Yep.
But the expense of the road was very large.
Right.
That we didn't have the budget for it, but obviously receiving 10 additional acres to the park lands is a substantial benefit.
So this didn't go to planning, did it?
It's under Benton's planning because it's a Benton subdivision.
No, that piece, but this swap didn't.
No, it's coming from council rules all property that's purchased or acquiring, so it's coming straight to y'all as far as that.
So has there been a Corps of Engineers study on this property to know what we're getting into?
Well, not on theirs. I mean, we would just be acquiring raw undeveloped property. What we would have to do is, and we would be part of that, was the design of the road. It does cross a tributary, and it could potentially have impact as far as Corps of Engineers requirements, but acquiring the 10 acres would offset the price of that, the design and build of the road. And I'd like to also say is this agreement is not necessarily immediate. So, we can agree in principle with the MOU. It's when they actually develop it, they develop that phase of it to get to that edge of the property. When they need the road, when the property transaction will happen and the road will have to be built.
So you're just wanting to, Mother May I? Yes.
Yes, sir.
But we're obligated to build the road at whatever cost it is, and we have no idea what that would be.
So,
I understand 10 acres. 10 acres is a small piece of the pie. I mean, it is a big, but.
We don't want a $10 million road in.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we did some preliminary estimates on it. We're looking at a potential anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 emergency access road. It has to be strong enough to withstand a fire truck, but it'd only be a single lane road used for emergency.
And what's the value of the land?
So the value of the land, considering, I'm going to let the representative speak if you'd like to. Would you like to speak?
You go ahead.
Okay. So, it could be as far as property value of $50,000 an acre. So it's about a 1-to-1 exchange. Although, depending on, that's current value prices versus when this happens, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Obviously, the property value is going up, cost of construction goes up. So it should be somewhere in the basis of almost 1-to-1.
Can we turn on the,
Master transportation plan?
no, the water,
I was gonna talk-
waterways, flood zones, all that stuff?
I was going to anticipate the master transportation plan.
Sorry. Too many years on planning. I keep hearing about ballparks flooding, and that's adjacent to a ballpark.
Yes, now, I would like to point out is this property is better value than the rest of the park because the biggest part of the park is in the floodway.
So this is not.
This is way out of the floodway.
It's still got low areas though.
It's got to cross, yes, sir, it's got to cross low areas. But you can see this 10 acres is completely out of it. It'll be usable land as far as extension of park services, buildings, or anything along those lines. But the road, obviously, we come down through there. The blue represents the floodplain. The hash represents the floodway. We can't do anything within the floodway. We can build within the floodplain to get the road in place.
So what's the state of the disc golf park?
We could design it in ways where it may be like through fairways, where maybe people have to throw over the road, but it can be designed in a way to avoid T-pads or baskets.
It's a cart path.
And it's only for emergency exits, so it's not like there's gonna be cars going through regularly, so. It can be designed in a way to avoid that.
I'd like to be able to hit a car with my disc instead of just waiting on golf balls, so.
We can make that happen.
Do we have a plan for that land other than
No,
expanding the-
it's a good opportunity, like I said, whether it's a one-to-one exchange, but it's a nice addition to the park. Anytime you can add 10 acres to a park, especially one that could be usable, it's a good deal.
Plenty of things to do with it.
Good questions.
So we don't really know a timetable when we have to build a road, do we?
Yeah, currently they're governed by the Arkansas Fire Prevention Code, which we observe the same rule that you got to have access to a major road no more than 33 homes. So once they get to that point that they're past those 33 homes, then they have to have an alternative access. So this could potentially be, like I said, 2, 3, 5 years away.
I'd still like to know what it costs to build the road.
Like I said, we did some basic estimates off of RDOT pricing. RDOT publishes annually what a cost of a road is built by mile. Typically, it's around $4 million. I think our first guess at it, of course, that's a 2-lane, build it collector standard, all those great things. Once again, we got to build it withstand a fire truck, which puts it somewhere in that ballpark. But the preliminary estimates was around $500,000.
$100,000 for the whole road?
Mm-hmm. It's not a long section, but roads are expensive. And we got a substantial tributary creek crossing that we got to do as far as the culverts.
So, $50,000 an acre, 10 acres equals what?
$500,000.
So it's not a real bargain.
No, but
Not when you potentially have
we need
more than $500,000 road.
Yeah, so it could be a wash as far as that is concerned, but we need the road and we get additional parkland as a boost. So those two additional things kind of are the benefit associated with doing this agreement.
Is there potential safety grants or something for something like that?
I haven't looked at it initially to see if there would be, but if we would imagine, yeah, you got a park that needs another road.
Or a joint venture on the road?
We have a kidder that can look into
We
that.
most definitely do.
Kidder can work. Yeah, I think that, Ted said it well, and we've always known we did that emergency access out the back of the park. So we get that, and we get another 10 acres. We felt like it's a good benefit for the city.
Yeah, we've got the right of way already though.
Yeah. That road, once again, would probably be expensive too, and we wouldn't have the 10 acres if and that's kind of the reason we haven't built a road is we didn't have the budget for parks budget to spend whatever, $300,000, $500,000 at the time. At least now, in this we get the 10 acres in addition. So, is that worth? I think it was worth waiting for as far as that is concerned.
That price that you gave, that's not a good price in this area?
$50,000 an acre. It could be more, it could be less. Some of it's limited because it's not accessible. But, if you build a subdivision next to it and you probably put on 10 acres, you could put another 30 homes on it. Those 30 homes could go for, what, $50,000 a lot?
Or more.
Mm-hmm. So, that offset is worth the value of it too.
The land's easily going, that's buildable, because it's all dry.
It's all dry.
And anything anywhere close to Bryant, even though that's in Benton. Anything that's even close to Bryant is going for way more than that.
Yeah.
I thought that was the deal. I was thinking that was the deal.
Yeah, I mean, as far as out in the county, they sell stuff around 50,000, so it's likely to be more. So in the offset, I don't want to divulge too much to the other, and then the cost may go up for them.
But then we've also got the bonus of all that land. I mean, that adds to it also.
Yes.
Good discussion. Any other questions or comments?
So, once again, all we need to do tonight is say, we could agree with this. Right?
What that does is that gives them the understanding to go back to Benton to say, we've got a plan for an alternate road, that their fire marshal will say, okay, you got a plan for a road?
Right.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Right,
They
they
could
go.
also say, you're not good to go, right?
They could. That's purely up to them.
It's basically like, if he asks you out, would you go out? And to do this, would you go out? And then he ended up going out, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's happy.
That's a really good illustration.
You're welcome. It's been a long day.
So,
I'm good for taking 10 acres.
all right, is that a motion?
Yes.
We have a motion to date. Is that a second?
Second.
All in favor?
And then I'll call her, I'm sorry.
Who was the second?
All in favor? Any opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Thank you. All right, speaking of Kidder.
So we did get the Bryant Parkway Trail construction grant. We originally applied through MetroPlan for the STBG grant. They awarded it under the CPRG, which is a climate pollution reduction grant, because they had more money in that one. So because we got the money from that one, there are requirements that we have to do, and one of them is to pass an ordinance for this trail, basically saying that we accept the award and we will maintain the trail until 2050. So that is what this ordinance says. I also added an emergency clause, just so that we can meet our deadlines and go ahead and start work on this project.
Could you mention the dollar amount of the grant?
Of the grant, yes, $1,760,000.
We'll take it.
Second.
All right, so is that a motion, a second, to suspend the rules and read first, second, third reading by title only?
I believe that's what Mr. Jack.
All right, so, got that motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I nominate Jack to mow it.
He's got time.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city of Bryant to accept the Metro Plan Climate Pollution Reduction Grant for the Bryant Parkway Trail to preserve the trail until 2050, comply with grant requirements, declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
A motion
Second.
and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mosley,
Yes.
Martin, Meyer,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
Permitter,
Yes.
O'Rourke.
Yes.
Motion passes. We have a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
A motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Permitter,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
Mosley,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
and Martin's absent.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, before you leave planning and development, and Mr. Taylor steps back into Public Works, can I ask a question of the planning and development gentleman about a right-of-way?
Of course.
In the heart of Bryant in particular, the street right-of-way extends into a lot of fenced areas. in our part of town. And the gentlemen that are currently now working on fiber optics just enter the yards without seeking any type of permission or anything and start to work out there inside fenced areas. And they claim they have the right to do that. They give no notice. They seek no permission from any of the homeowners. Do they have that right?
Colton, do you want
You want me to just give that to him? I will remove Mr. Taylor from my question. I'll put the full burden on Mr. Colton.
So they are allowed to work within the right of way. If it is a fenced area, I would assume they would at least try to knock on the door, let you know that they were going back there to get inside that easement. If they were trying to lay it within an easement representing a yard. But we could definitely check into that and see.
We have what?
We could look into that.
Okay.
Check into who that is doing
Yeah.
that.
I appreciate it. It's a second round with these guys, so it's probably not the same guys either. It's Hyperfiber the first time. I don't know who these guys are working with, trying to repair, but they're all over our part of town.
Hyperfiber already sold, so. Imagine that. That's what they're doing. That's what all those guys are doing.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
I will defer to the council, but anytime that, at the electric company, anytime we go behind a locked gate or a gate, we always have to get permission first. Number one, you can get shot for that. Number two, it's a matter of public safety, because if you've got an elderly lady or an elderly man, it could scare them scare them very much.
Seriously.
Because if it's some stranger coming in there, and then they ended up calling Chief Minden over there, so that wastes city time simply by those guys not having the courtesy enough to ask somebody before they go onto their property.
I would agree. As Colton stated, they are allowed to be within the right-of-way. As Mr. Rodell stated, as a matter of safety, you would believe it would be their policy, but as a matter of law, no, they do not have to have permission as long as it is the right-of-way.
We will work with the folks doing that and try to track down, make sure they are good, be good neighbors.
Well, I can send you
Doing our best.
I would like for the planning department to be sure to look at their safety practices, because they're not putting cones around their boring equipment when it's sitting in the street. So we're going to need to, I would strongly suggest that we give them a friendly reminder and maybe a little invitation to come back into the city and pay us for the trouble that they're creating.
Send a code guy or two around to see them.
Well, and we do not have to issue warnings, by the way. So.
While we're having discussion about cable and fiber and stuff, I'd like to revisit our ordinance on solicitation at the next council meeting for discussion on some restrictions to possibly put on it, because we've had people out at way past dark knocking on doors that no lights are on. I told him.
It's my house.
It was my house the other night, and I told him I was fixing to turn the dog out the door on him.
Just turn the dog out. I think that the ordinance that we passed previously, there were certain hours.
There is certain hours in the ordinance. I'm not sure what those are. Of course, if they're in violation.
I would like to also make sure that they have a copy of something on their person that shows that they've been through and gotten a permit, as well as a list of no solicit.
And I believe that list is given to them when they receive their permit, and they are required to show you their permit if you ask for it.
Well, they are not carrying the
If you're in
permit.
violation.
Yeah, so if they've come through the city for the permit, they'll have a name badge, little plastic name badge holder with their permit, and has their name, has our sign off from the city on there. So if they don't have that on there, they're in violation and they haven't been through the city and gotten background check and everything like that.
I want them to be able to provide.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to wear that on their person when they approach the door. So
Yeah,
that has to be-
that's definitely the law, because we, real estate agents and stuff have to get that.
Yeah, so if we could just revisit that and make sure. We may need to put some times in there or something. I mean, you say there are, I'm sure there probably are, but.
Yes, I can't remember what exactly.
Yeah. At 7:30 though, right now, it's pitch black outside.
I believe when we did it last week, we had specific times listed for the daylight savings times.
We did.
So that there was 2 different sets of hours.
We did, we covered all that. Yeah, we did.
Thank you, sir.
Might be some politicians knocking on the doors in January and February.
I was saying them Girl Scouts are getting aggressive.
Yeah, but they don't have to have politicians.
$20 a box.
All right, any other council comments?
I'd like to thank everybody that was a part of Bless Bryant on Saturday. I thought it was a huge success. I mean, I thank you for doing that in the south side of town. That was isn't that the first park in the city of Bryant?
Oh, yeah.
Ashley Park?
Yes, of course, yes it is.
Great place for it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out, it was a great event. I don't have any comments. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
You do.
All right, motion. Adjourn, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good Thanksgiving.